Yes, sir, and welcome back to another Dark and Darker mobile video. It is your boy Flow10Z, man, and as we have done, this is the advanced guide for the Barbarian. Right here, we are in the hard modes, Goblin Caves. The reason being is that the only difference between the modes is the actual strength of the mobs. Like when it's relative to PvP due to the gear score limitations, PvP for each one simply follows the same guidelines. The way that you would play PvP in one mode is the same way that you would play other, because your death is always really the same risk factor. As I go in now, I'm going to preface this saying that the Zweilander is a bad choice for Goblin Caves, but could be better fit for the Forgotten Castle. I would always say if you're going Goblin Caves, maybe you should opt towards maybe using a battle axe or war maul as your primary. I'd say the axes, the felling axe or the battle axe, something along those lines. And I have decided to pair it with a hatchet and a Viking sword. The reason being is the hatchet has an ability for you to throw a hatchet and has a really fast cooldown, and it gives you the ability to contest with other classes in those prolonged fights when they're leveraging their zone and distance and leveraging the strength of their classes. It allows you to compete in those distances. You're going to see in this match, this is a full lobby wipe. This is a true showcase of the skill gap that Dark and Darker currently has at the moment, and it is only going to increase, which is why I felt that it was imperative to give you this video after I recorded this match, because I noticed that a lot of the players, particularly the mage class, has decided to really pick up, and they are deadly. Like, a good mage will keep you looped in circles, and you must focus on map knowledge and prioritize movement and survival above all else, or you will truly find yourself at a disadvantage. But this is the same said for all classes. As that being said, when we move into the Barbarian specializes in close range combat and survivability and tank classes. I've opted for the War Cry and the Undying Rage. War Cry allows you to increase your health and you regain health on hit, and Undying Rage prevents you from death, but it increases your movement speed, your attack speed, and it increases your movement speed, your attack speed, and your physical damage, but you're unable to heal for 3 seconds afterwards. But I feel like that is a good trade-off for the 30-second boost that it gives you, and it amplifies and plays into the Barbarian strengths. You'll see that I use that a lot, and the War Cry is very helpful because it gives you that increased health, and you can also quickly farm mobs to get your health back. Pair that with the right amount of heals and the utilities such as protection potions and bandages and surgicals, whatever. You have a class that is basically capable of standing toe-to-toe with any class. In this video, I basically fight, I think, pretty much almost every class outside of maybe the Ranger, I think. But you'll notice that this also will give you an inkling on how to deal with a class that I have already said. If you've seen my advanced mage guide, the mage will be one of the most troublesome classes due to the utilities that it possesses and the flexibility that it possesses between playstyles, also making them very hard to read. I fought a lightning mage. If you've seen in my video, I opted for a fire mage, but this lightning mage also opted to use the enchanted flame footsteps, and it prevented me. But as I've already covered, the enchanted flames is used to punish you for chasing, also giving you that space to focus on willpower recovery and willpower management. As a barbarian, you are more suited towards closing the role, so as long as you focus on movement and map knowledge, you'll notice how I use the terrain in these fights to my advantage, especially when it comes to the wizard fight. I allow them to use up because I understand that the willpower is a resource that they have to replenish either by meditation, there is a perk that gives it back through melee combat, or they would have to replenish it through willpower potions. I know that a prolonged fight for a mage is truly not in their favor. Like a truly prolonged one where they have no opportunities to replenish their willpower. So as long as you focus on keeping the distance so close that they don't have the time, but so far that you have time to get out of the range of attack, you can easily deal with the mage and a variety of other range classes. The Barbarians specialize up close, and they truly do start to struggle against range classes due to their overall lack of kit, but I've found a solution for that, and I just cannot wait till you see the way that I put that in. It was a crazy shot. I was amazed. I was like, oh my god, dude, I was hyped, man. I was hyped. I truly do enjoy making these videos for you guys, and like as we move like closer to the end of the beta, and moving towards global, I want you guys to know that basically we will be covering all things Dark and Darker mobile on this page. Any guides, you know what I'm saying, tips, updates, you know what I'm saying, any new additions, any classes will receive full guides, walkthroughs, and all of those things. hopefully I have the time to work on like farming the more PvE related content. I really want to focus on PvP because that's such a big part of this game, and it's really overlooked currently, where due to the nature of how it looks, people really think that it's not a lot that goes into PvP, but PvP in this game is very deep and very intricate at all levels, from beginner to intermediate to advanced to masters. At all levels the PvP gets crazy, and if you see people that are really good at the game, they will run circles. It is so crazy. Hopefully I can get some gameplay dealing with the arena mode for each class, but right now I want to focus on the primary mode because this is basically where a chunk of your gameplay will come from, right? As you see in this fight right here, this you see him, he's leveraging that stun that comes with the electric. I'm pretty sure he's rocking electric mastery because I'm getting stunned a lot as he's activating and hitting me with those things. But you see, he also opted for that fireball, for that burn damage, and then the enchanted flames to punish for the. But you know what I'm saying? Being a player that I have a lot of patience, and I also know the strengths of my kit, I know when I do and do not have an opening, right? So the best thing that comes with that is that I know when somebody activates their retreat and wants to punish you for chasing, it also means that they're really hurt and they really need to buy time for themselves. So that also means that it's simply a reset. There's nothing wrong with the resets when it comes to games like this, or when it comes to games in general. A lot of players in general struggle when it comes to understanding that prolonged fights happen a lot at high levels because people are going to play for their survival and not just play, you know what I'm saying, for the leisure of playing. Like when it comes to like prolonged fights, this person is trying to play their survival and they're really aware of what they're doing, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's okay to take the time, reevaluate, reposition, check your surroundings, and make sure that you're not opting for a third party. Like right here, I jump down here, I wait for the third party. This ranger seemed to know what he was doing. He immediately caught distance and held me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just allow him to think, you know, he could close the distance. Not knowing, I popped my Undying Rage, and then I popped my War Cry as I got closer. No, I didn't even pop the War Cry, I just popped the Undying Rage. So in case he hit me with the quick shot arrows and immediately was gonna get some more shots off, I couldn't immediately die, and it would allow me to basically, like, you know what I'm saying, maybe live out for 3 seconds and then pop the War Cry to increase my health, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like thinking about things like that preemptively and then acting on it is the key to becoming a good player, especially when it comes to PvP and darker mobile. It's really like you're gonna die sometimes and you're gonna make those calls, but in those calls that you'll learn from them, basically. Like I spent a lot of time, maybe yesterday, I think I was getting stomped out. Like I was just like getting caught on the third parties and all of that because I was basically like winning a fight, like a very prolonged fight, wasn't checking my surroundings, getting snuck up on by like a rogue or flash teleported on by like a mage that just unloaded their spells on me, and I was a squishier class, like, you know, the ranger or the cleric or something like that. So boom, it's really just a lot about like going in and like really just like playing and paying attention a lot. See this dude right here, he messed up basically, but he came with the retreat, he knew. But you see, I'm following up with the hatchet. Like I've actually gotten the hang of it now. I'm like, okay, cool, I know how I can beat you now. Like cool, like if I can close the distance on you, then it's good. But I just see that I can't. But I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna just keep throwing the hatchets at him. That fireball is where it gets sticky because that fireball packs a lot of damage. As you see, I said that is a universally required spell for a mage. I feel like the AoE and the burst damage that you get and the flexibility that you can aim it at their legs is just for it. But also make sure that you're looking out for that, especially as a barbarian. Your magic resistance is high, but you're not invincible to magic. So too many spells, too many combo spells on you will leave you in a bad position and leave you vulnerable. But again, this is why we have the video. This is why we're walking through this stuff. This is why, you know what I'm saying, we're here. You know what I mean? I don't want players to get on here and get frustrated when they start, you know what I'm saying, when they get out of the bot lobbies and all of that, and you know what I'm saying, stuff starts getting real. I don't want them to just be like, oh man, this is BS. There's a lot that goes in here when it comes to stats and gear. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's a lot that comes with the buffs and, you know, understanding stat mechanics and all of those things. Like this game is a very, very deep game at its core. It very closely like follows the PC version, but just made to be more enjoyable and more streamlined and digestible for a casual audience. I feel like it translates really well to mobile because the third person perspective allows people to feel more immersed and feel more involved in the action and stuff like that. So boom, you know what I mean? Right here, he was sitting there and he was trying to get he was getting his stuff back, but he popped his enchanted flames early. As I told you, that's a punish. You know what I mean? know when and when not to like pursue, because you can get punished easy. He also thought he was gonna unload spells on me, but now I know that he has to actually target me. You cannot target. You can't get targeted by spells through like obstruction through objects. So make sure that you're using your cover to stop them from getting those spell lock-ons and stuff on you, because it's sick, right? Boom, like right there. I knew what he was doing, and I leveraged it, and I played into it. I played into my advantages, and I got him. You know what I mean? I just kept constantly checking my environment. You know, just moving and playing it, not rushing it, but just waiting for my opportunities, and then, you know, boom. Not too dependent on my class skills, but using them just enough that their utility that enhances my experience. You know what I'm saying? It enhances my ability and my chance to take down my opponent, but it's not something that you completely depend on. Always be thinking how you could be using your environment, your creativity, all the things that you have at your disposal, and think about how you can overcome each clash through your flexibility. That will be the biggest key. It's not the class, it's how you use it. You know what I mean? And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoy Darker and Darker Mobile content, as I've said, we are everything Darker and Darker Mobile. You know what I'm saying? And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Never.